A picture is worth 100 words and a video is worth probably 10 pictures. You might have heard this line before because it's such a cliche, but it's so true in digital marketing as well. How? I will get to that in a minute. Now in this video, I am going to introduce you to an amazing tool and I will show you how to set up and use that tool, which is Microsoft Clarity. Now, if you haven't heard about this tool before, or if you have heard about this but don't know exactly how to set up and work on it, then this particular video is for you. Now, if you are a digital marketer, whether you run paid media campaigns or you run organic campaigns like email campaigns or whatever, now your goal basically directly or indirectly is always to drive traffic to the website. Now that traffic then leads to sales, e-commerce purchases, leads, or any other kind of objectives. Now that being said, you also might have realized, like Microsoft, that in the reporting, though we have advanced reporting tools, what kind of gap am I talking about? Let me explain. Now, on one hand, if you're running paid media campaigns, let's say on Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or any other platform, you generally analyze that what kind of ads generated the highest CTR, what kind of audiences delivered the highest CTR, what kind of age group generated the highest CTR, what ads, what formats generated the highest traffic to the website. On the other hand, if you're working on, let's say, email automation tools or SMS, you still get these kind of details, that what kind of link, what kind of email, what kind of subject line, what kind of link description generated highest traffic or generated the highest CTR. Now, this is one side of the picture. On the other hand, you probably use Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, or any other kind of analytical tools which gives you post-click reporting and analysis, which means that after users clicked and they went on your website, you can kind of understand the reporting there. In Analytics and Adobe Analytics, you can check probably which channel brought how much traffic, what was the session duration, what was the average session duration, what was the average session rate, what was the bounce rate, and all those kind of behavioral metrics where you understand that how did that audience kind of behaved on what was the behavior of those users on your website. But the thing is, you always get these reports in terms of averages. If you are using free Google Analytics and not premium version, you will obviously have sample data. But the issue now here is, let's say, for example, a certain page has high bounce rate. Now the average bounce rate on your website is, let's say, 60% or 40%. And a particular page has a bounce rate as high as 90%. Now, Google Analytics help you to understand that this page is not working properly. But at the end, you will have to guess that why that certain page has high bounce rate. That is where Microsoft comes into picture, and they created this tool called Microsoft Clarity. What Microsoft Clarity does is it bridges that gap. It shows you individual behavior of users with the help of recordings. Now, every session on your website, when a user comes to your website, is recorded. You will be literally able to say the recording that how did the user behave on the website. Before we jump into how to set up Microsoft Clarity and how to work on it, I want to give you some information about Microsoft Clarity. The first one is that Microsoft Clarity is not a replacement for or a competitor for Google Analytics and Google Adobe Analytics and analytical tools. It kind of complements these tools. You can actually integrate Microsoft Clarity with Google Analytics to have a more better looking reports and some more data from Google Analytics. So Microsoft Clarity is like it complements analytics. It does not replace it. So ideally, if you have Google Analytics, then you can have Microsoft Clarity as well. The third thing I want to mention about Microsoft Clarity is it is free. And unlike there are no features, so there's no pro version where you can have additional features. It's free and it does not have any limitations on how many sessions your website has. Even if you have millions of users and sessions on your website every day, Microsoft Clarity will still be free for you. And the thing I like the most about Microsoft Clarity is it is so simple and easy to use. I mean, if you have nothing to do with digital marketing, you know nothing about Google Analytics and other analytical tools, you can, with your intuition, you can just work around Microsoft Clarity and it's super easy to use. I want to take this moment and help the sponsors of this video, which is AppSumo. Now, AppSumo is an amazing platform with a lot of amazing tools and deals. Now, I was surprised to know that tools like MailChimp, Shopify, Zapier, they all were launched on AppSumo. Imagine getting a lifetime access of Zapier for $39. Now, all these tools, MailChimp, Zapier, and a lot of other tools have monthly subscriptions, but when they were launched on AppSumo, they had these lifetime deals. You get crazy discounts as well. Now, I would highly recommend you to go to AppSumo and find, you can literally check based on the category of the softwares you want, and you can buy a software with an amazing price discount, and probably you get a lot of lifetime deals as well. Now, in my case, I really liked SendFox, which is an automated email campaigns with an very affordable email marketing solution. Now, there's a lot of features that come with SendFox. For example, you can send unlimited emails. You can schedule email campaigns at any time of the day, unlimited trigger automations. You can create custom landing pages, custom fonts, and a lot more. Now, what I can do is I'll put a link in the description below. Now, first 100 subscribers of my channel who will click on that link will get an additional 10% discount on the amazing prices and deals which they already have. So that out of our way, let's focus on the video. I'll jump to my screen so that I can show you how you can set up Microsoft Clarity on your website and how you can use and make better decisions. Now, to use Microsoft Clarity, you have to go to this website, which is clarity.microsoft.com. And once you sign up with a new username, a new email address and password, or if you already have a Microsoft account, then you will be redirected to this particular page. Now, ideally, you won't see this because I already have a project, which is my senataviranads.com blog, but you will see this as blank. Now, you can have multiple, just like Google Analytics, you can have multiple projects. Let's say if you have multiple websites, properties, you can create a separate project for each of them. Now, ideally, once you're on this page, to create a new project and to integrate Microsoft Clarity on your website, what you do is you click on New Project here. And it'll ask you some information here. Let's say, what is the name of this project? So you will say test website. Then it'll ask you for the URL of your website. So in that case, I will use, let's say, www.test. So I'll use www.test.com because I don't have a website where I can put the codes again. I just have one and I'm already using it. So then it tells you almost there, select how you want to install Clarity. Just like Google Analytics and Google Tags, you have multiple options. Let's say one is install manually. You click on get tracking code, you copy a code and you put it in the header section of your website, all pages. You can do that directly in, let's say, WordPress, or you can, if you already have Google Tag Manager account and linked it with your website, you can use that as well. Or install on a third-party platform would be if, let's say, you have a Shopify store. So you can use it there as well. And then need help with installation. Let's say you are a business owner, you work with web developers who manage all your websites. So you can share the code, enter email address, and it will be redirected. The email will be sent to them with all instructions. It's very simple and straightforward. Okay, now with that out of our way, let's go to see how the dashboard looks like. So once you install the code, you probably have to wait for 2 to 4 hours before the data starts populating in your dashboard. But this is how the dashboard looks like once you click on My Projects and go to your project. Now, the first tab here, so everything is controlled by these tabs here. Now, the first tab you'll be redirected is dashboard, and the options you'll get here is filters, segments, and the date range. Now, I will get to that in a minute, but the first thing you check is, let's say I check for last 30 days, okay? Now, you will see the information you generally see in Google Analytics, like total sessions, distinct users, which is unique users in Google Analytics, pages per session, scroll depth is 51% average, and which means how much on average people scroll the pages of your website. Now, time spent is active and inactive, so it segments that time. So if a user is active on your website, it will record that separately, which is 1.4 minutes, let's say for my website. So generally people spend like 1.4 minutes on my website. And inactive would be if they keep it open, they go to other tabs. So or that average is separate, which is 5.5 minutes, which makes sense because it will be more if people leave my website open and then go to other websites. Okay, after that we will move to dead clicks, so which is 21.4% on my website. Now what dead clicks primarily mean is people click somewhere which they think that there something is going to happen, but nothing happens. As I mentioned, one of the examples is they think that okay, there is something on the website which probably is clickable, but it is not. So which is referred to as dead clicks. Now why is it important? Let me show you an example. So this is the homepage of my website. Now what I see is people generally click on these cards here and they think that they are clickable. So people come to my website and then they scroll here, projects I work on, and I observed a lot of people click on these cards to know that if they can know more about how do I work on corporate training projects, or if there are any details, but there are not. So it is kind of a design flaw, because actually user behavior decides whether something is a design flaw. So probably in that case, there are a lot of outcomes. One is I need to change this because it's not good user behavior if it is misleading in any way. And after I observed that there were dead clicks, if you see that I actually made these two clickable where I could, but I couldn't make these. But my plan is to make them clickable to attach pages there. So for example, if somebody clicks on performance marketing strategy now, they actually will be redirected to another link. So for me, I realized that with dead clicks reports, there was an opportunity for me to even generate more traffic. So what I did is I added a page about performance marketing strategy, which is more engagement. People clicked on there, they visited my other page, they are interested. And sometimes it might just tell you that, okay, you need to change your design somehow that to tell users that it's not clickable. So that's what dead clicks mean. So for example, if a user comes here and they think, okay, I can click this, they click here and nothing happens. So that's what dead clicks is. So let's go back. And the second metric, so for my website, it's 21.4%, which means that these are the number of users who think that something is clickable on my website and it's actually not, which is a high percentage. Then there are rage clicks. Rage clicks is just like dead clicks, but it's like they click multiple times back to back. So dead click will be like, okay, somebody clicked, nothing happens. Rage clicks is I'm like, I think that there's something wrong and I click back to back, which is rage clicks. Now what rage clicks does is generally you will have high rage clicks if a link on your website is broken, because people somehow can tell that this is a hypertext, this is a link, a clickable link, and nothing happens there. So this will give you an idea. If you see high percentages, certainly this should give you an idea that something is broken on my website. To give you an example, rage click would be if somebody clicks on, let's say, testimonials here and what students say about me, let's say this one. Yeah. So people think that if I click on here, that it will take me somewhere because it's showing this hand symbol, which means it's clickable. Now, if I click on it multiple times, I'll give you an example here. So if I click here multiple times, because I know this is clickable, probably the link is broken. That is what rage clicks is. Now, this is something I saw a lot of rage clicks here. That's why I made this clickable. Before it was not clickable. Now, if you click on this, it will take you to my Udemy courses page. So that is about, I'll show you in the recordings how it appears, but this is just to give you an idea that if you go to your dashboard, how to draw meaningful results. And then you will have some other details, that how many sessions had dead clicks, how many total rage clicks were recorded in this duration, which is 30 days. And then it will tell you a lot of other details, like what are the quickbacks. Okay, quickbacks is something else. You need to understand what it means. Quickbacks is, for example, if a user clicks on a link on my website, they go to another website page of my website and quickly they come back, which means they don't spend a lot of time there. Because what it means is if you have a lot of quickbacks on some URL, which means that people click there, they expect something on that page and they don't see it there. So they quickly come back, which means that you will have to fix those pages, and either wherever you have put the link, whatever users expect from that link, it's not matching on the page. So either you change the description of that link there, or you make changes to the page, because clearly users expect to see something else, but once they go to that page, they quickly come back and they don't find it there, which is also a very bad experience. So 10% of my users are quickbacks. Now up to 10% it's normal, because sometimes people just click to see what it is about and come back. They don't have intention to read everything. Let's say, for example, in this case, people want to see that, okay, work with me. They know that it might be a form page, but they just want to see how it looks. They click on it to see and come back quickly, which is normal. But if you see a high percentage, you can always optimize for that. Then it gives you some kind of information like what browsers visited, how many sessions from each browser, which is also some information, useful information. Then countries, then JavaScript errors, then excessive scrolling. Excessive scrolling is another important metrics which you need to understand, which means that if people are scrolling a lot more than usual while scrolling up or scrolling down, both are counted in excessive scrolling. What this means is the pages which have excessive scrolling, people are not able to find the information which they know it is there, but they are not able to find. Probably you have a lot of fluff on that page. So for example, if let's say I have a blog here which says now let's go here. Let's say I have a blog here that what are the top 8 paying digital marketing skills to learn. Now people click here, they know that there has to be a list somewhere in this web page, but there's so much fluff that they can't find it. That's why people will excessive scroll. So that is which tells you these metrics can be used in a lot of ways. I'm just giving you like some obvious conclusions. Then I'll let you use your common sense how to use these metrics. But for me, this is like how you can look at it. So if you have a lot of excessive scrolling on your page, which means that the information there is not concise, there's a lot of fluff which users hate. Okay, so let's go back to here, and that's honestly, I mean, these are the important metrics which you can't find in, let's say, Google Analytics. Others, these PC devices and operating systems, you can find in all analytics tools. And this is not something which is unique to Microsoft Clarity, but yeah, good to have it here as well. So that's about dashboard. Now let's go to interesting part, which is recordings. Now in recordings, what Microsoft Clarity does is it exactly records every session on your website. Now, for example, right now, the latest recording session I have is on programmatic interview questions page. It shows you the link. Then what was the exit page? Then in this session, the user visited just one page. The duration was 1.26 seconds. They did 4 clicks on this website. Some of them might be dead clicks, rage clicks, or whatever. It was from mobile, Android, and India. Now I want to see this particular recording. I can literally click on it and I can play. So this is what happened. Now, in this one, what happens is you see these dots here. They will tell you that where did users click. So these are all clicks. Now these ones on mobile devices are taps, if you hear a sound, and these are the clicks. So see, yeah, this is a good example. So this user clicked on these questions. Probably he was expecting that there will be an answer for this question as well. So it was a dead click. Now, if they click multiple times on the same question, probably it will be categorized as a rage click because they clicked multiple times. And this is how I would look at these. Now, what happens is, in recordings, there are some important and very interesting things you can do. For example, now if I have a website which has thousands and thousands or millions of users every day. Now it's very difficult for me to kind of go through all the recordings one by one. If you're a new business owner, have less traffic, it's very interesting to look at these. But if you have a website which has millions of users and sessions, what you can do is you can just filter certain sessions. Let's say, for example, I can filter in last 3 days. I want to see all the sessions from, let's say, I don't know, maybe United States. Okay. And then, okay, Clarity user ID, no. I want to see sessions on PCs only. You can choose I want to see sessions on browsers. And then after all this shebang, what you can do is you can enter, okay, certain URLs. I want to see sessions. Probably you launched a new blog, new page on your website. You can choose that one as well. And you can choose exit URL to understand that, okay, how do people behave? You want to just see recordings of the page where the exit URL was certain page. You want to see why people exit from that page very often. Or you can use source, medium, and campaign UTM parameters as well if you are using. And then what you can do is you can choose based on screen resolution and whatnot. And you can click on apply. So it will show you only those recordings based on your filters. Now you can download these as well. Okay, so that's about recording tab. Now let's go back to Heatmaps. So we checked the dashboard, we checked the recordings tab. Now we're going to Heatmaps. Now in Heatmaps, what you can do is, for example, it will show you all the web pages of your website. So let's, for example, say that I want to see heat maps of my homepage here, senatorviran.com. Okay, I click on it. And now if you see that, it will show you heat maps. Now what it means, heat maps mean is anywhere you see a red area, that means that there are a lot of clicks that happen on that particular area. Let me change the data to last 30 days and you can use these filters on anything in Clarity. Now, what this page tells you is what are the areas on your website which users click a lot. For example, if you see on my home page, their toolkit and I think this is blog. These are the two links where users click a lot because it's red. And then home page is okay, not as many people click on home, and videos also there are a lot of clicks. But if you see the contact, there's not much clicks, probably one click in last 30 days on PC only. Okay, then you will see these areas like there because people have been tapping here and they want to, probably they were trying to zoom and clicking here and there. Then if you see that there were a lot of clicks here on these cards, as I told you, people were expecting that there will be some behavior. It will take them to the landing page. Then work with me has decent because it's somewhere in between this bluish and greenish color. So some people click on this as well. Then some people click on this section, testimonials, and a lot of people, if you see, click here and there on my Udemy this thing, because they think that okay, we can check that what are the courses available on Udemy. And then some people click on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube because they are kind of greenish. And a lot of people click here to subscribe to my newsletter. If you see, it's kind of greenish, which is in between. But most of the people click on blogs, toolkit, and homepage. And here it's a button, actually. I think it's work with me. So this is the number of clicks and heat maps on your, for example, my homepage. I can go here and choose any other page I want, and I can see the behavior heat maps on tablet users, people who visit my website on tablets. And then I can do the same thing for mobile. So because the website looks a bit different on mobile, so it'll be different. So if you see here, this menu bar, a lot of people are clicking here. Then a lot of people click, for example, there were 51 clicks on work with me in this duration. There were 6 clicks here, audit and strategy. And now what this helps you to understand is what are the areas of your website where people click a lot and what are the areas where people don't click. So probably it will help you to decide that what parts to remove from a web page and what parts to keep or optimize. Probably if I was getting a lot of clicks from home, this menu bar, and it was somewhere down here, I would decide that okay, I should keep it on the top because a lot of people are interested in this one. Then what you can do is you can go to scroll area and you will see that how many people scroll up to a certain area of the page. Now, obviously, again, red means the most of the people watch this. Obviously, this is on the top, which means that all the people who visit this page will kind of see this area section of the website. It will also show you 100% users reached this point. Then if you scroll down, it will show you that, okay, 60%, 58% scroll till this area because, for example, 56% scrolled this point, and which means that 44% already exited without watching or without scrolling down this area here. Now if you see till end point, for example, this section, the last section of my website, anybody who visits on a PC in last 30 days, only 37% scroll to see the end of this page. On the left hand side, you will see that percentage scrolled, number of visitors, and percentage of users. Okay, so this table helps you in a way that, for example, if I want to see how many people scrolled 50% of this page in last 30 days from PC. Now you will see that 595 users in last 3 months scrolled 50% of the page, which is like 54% of the visitors. Okay, then the next subsection we have here is click area. Now this will tell you that on each division, like a section wise, how many clicks you received. So for example, all the clicks I received in last 30 days from PC, 67% of those clicks were done in this particular section, and 1.4 on this section, 0.38% on this section. So it divides your website in kind of sections. 0.82% clicked on this section, 1.96% clicked on this section. So it shows you the click data, percentage of clicks on each section from all the clicks on your website. Now this will be helpful as well. I mean, if you are looking at heat maps, to kind of rearrange your website, to kind of see what you can remove, which ones you can remove and which ones you can keep. Then if you integrate your Google Analytics with your Microsoft Clarity, then you will see these data is directly imported from Google Analytics, like audience overview, acquisition reporting, popular pages, sessions by country, sessions by device. It might be good to have this information handy within Microsoft Clarity, but if you don't integrate, it's okay, but you will not see this tab here. Then we have settings, as I told you, which is about, you can change your name, website, type of website. Then you have the Clarity Tour if you want to know more about Microsoft Clarity. Then you have Teams, where you can add different users. So for example, if you have a website, there are multiple people working on this website, you can add them to have access to Microsoft Clarity, so that everyone doesn't need to install a separate tag on the website to understand. Then you have Setup, where you can connect it to Tag Manager, Google Analytics. Then you have Masking, where you can choose, which I was talking in the beginning, that you can choose that, okay, how much information to hide. So for example, strict will hide almost a lot of things, even the text where it thinks that's a name, phone number or whatever. Balanced is okay, it'll hide like the sensitive information only, and relaxed is nothing will be masked on your website. So that's that's what I was telling you. Microsoft Clarity is so straightforward and easy to use. Everything is in these 4 tabs. You have limited options. You don't have millions of options which confuse. And then there is IP blocking. If you want to block certain IP address ranges or IP addresses, for example, you want to block everybody in your company. So you will have an IP address range. You can block it so that Microsoft Clarity doesn't include these sessions in the reporting and recording and all those things. Okay, so now in the beginning, I skipped a bit because I wanted to first you to get familiar with the dashboard. Now you'll be wondering that, okay, I saw the clicks, heat maps and everything. How do I check why there were rage clicks? Now for that, you have to come here. Let's go back to the dashboard and you click on segments, if you remember. Then click on filters. If you remember, I skipped this part. So what you can do is you can only filter data based on, let's say, rage clicks. Now you want to just see sessions which include rage clicks. And then you can also include, let's say, sessions which include rage clicks as well as dead clicks, and let's say quickbacks, or you can do it one by one. For example, let me check all the sessions which have rage clicks. Click on apply. Now it will tell me how many sessions had rage clicks in last 30 days. And then if I go to recordings, I will only see sessions which have rage clicks. So for example, let's say this one, why did we have a rage click? If you see, the user was clicking here and I don't know, they thought that something should happen here and they clicked back to back 3 times. So that's why it was a rage click. Okay, now let's say instead of rage clicks, I want to see why there were a lot of quickbacks. Now click on quickbacks, I click on apply. All the sessions here in the recordings, or even if I go to the dashboard, all the details I see here will be only for sessions which included quickbacks. Now if I go to recordings, now let's see, for example, this session, why did it have a lot of quickbacks? Now the purple areas here will show you the quickbacks. So see, they're quickly going to other section. It can be other page or quick section as well. Now this user went to the contact page and he was just scrolling and going back and forth to different pages. So now what I mean, I'll have to probably analyze this video for a while and then understand why this was a quick back. What was he trying to search? So that's honestly everything about Microsoft Clarity. It looks very simple, but when you deep dive, it gives you a lot of information. And I hope this video was helpful in any way. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next one.